It's day 12 on the Sheltowee Trace trail. I'm at like 274 mileage wise. Just went up a nice little climb last night. Camped it's about 8 or 10 miles from here. Then walked along the river this morning. It was real pretty. I kind of knew it would be. That's why everyone likes the southern portion, is the Cumberland Falls. Obviously Yahoo Falls was empty, people like it, but it's dry, it's August. Everything along the river this morning was very, very grown up. But the section was absolutely beautiful. It'd actually be a really easy, really nice hike. And probably is during the winter, or if it's maintained. This area right here looks pretty nice. Now this is up pretty high in elevation, so I don't think they're actually going up here and weed eating. If they'd weed eat that section down there next to the river, I guess it would be, I guess it's Big South Fork is the area there as far as the park. But I already knew the southern portion was going to be pretty. I kept waiting for, you know, the northern half had its moments. I was honest about it though. Most of it was road walking, tons of dogs, and these last 125 miles or so, you're really in more parks and stuff. So there's a reason everyone's biased towards it. Even out here in the hot, humid weather where it's grown up, it's still just a lot prettier. Last night was the first night I had where I actually got cold. I have a 50-degree Kelty bag, so it's not a lightweight bag by any means, but it was real cheap to throw in my pack for this. Everything I have is too overkill for this. I got a 20-degree down bag, I'd just be laying on it. There'd be no point in having it out here. It's been so hot. It's been like in the 60s most nights, but last night it was like 1250 elevation, by far the highest I camped, and the temps have been down a little bit. Nice climbs through here though. This is what I remember. These are the areas that made me want to come back and do this. I mean, it's just gorgeous. To be somewhat low in elevation, it's starting to look like mountains. But of course we're getting to Tennessee. Sorry, Kentucky, but Tennessee's just got you beat on the trails. I'm a little biased though. Look, it's beautiful, it really is. We will actually be in Tennessee today, speaking of. So once I walk out of Kentucky into Tennessee, I'll be the best thing to come out of Kentucky since Jack Harlow blew up. So there's that. But in all seriousness, it's pretty. Got, I think, around 20 miles to the border, something like that. Tomorrow should be going through Bandy Camp. Don't think I'm gonna stay in Bandy Camp because I'm gonna be done. It's Thursday. I've been saying days, and I don't think I've been tracking on video what day it is, but it's Thursday. I want to be done Saturday, like 60 miles. So nothing crazy. Stay at Bandy Camp if you ever come through here. It's absolutely beautiful. A lot of stuff through here. Twin Arches. There's a bunch of stuff down there. A lot of side trails. Probably make a trip back. I don't think this summer, but this fall might have some time to come back. We'll see how that goes. Anyway, yeah, lovely day. It's in the 70s. It's dry. I'm just loving the dry weather. If you couldn't tell, a lot of my videos, some of the negativity was just simply coming from being wet, man. I just can't stand being wet. Being wet and cold's the worst, but when your feet are just constantly wet, especially mine, because the nerve endings in my feet are a little sensitive, so when the skin starts to rip and blister and stuff, I just can't do much. So it was pretty much everything for me to get to dry my feet out for a couple days. It's looking like most of this section's pretty, maybe a little overgrown, but it is what it is. I'm loving getting towards this section of the trail. It's kind of what I've been waiting on. So I'm gonna get back to it. I will have an update tomorrow, and I'll be finishing off the next day. Be at Burt Mill Bridge at the end of this trail. Goodbye, Kentucky. It's been real. Hello, Tennessee. Haven't seen you in a while. It's day 13 on the Sheltowee. Tonight will be my last night, and then I'll get picked up tomorrow. And you've probably been wondering about the southern portion and why people make such big deals about it. And it's stuff like that. It's only about 14 or 1500 feet in this area. And it may not sound like a lot when compared to 900 to 1100 feet roundabout, but it actually makes a really big difference in the views, in the vegetation, and the environment in general. It's just nicer, it's cooler, things get less overgrown, there's less roads, it's all parks, it's all protected. So there's a good reason people like the southern portion. Too bad it's short for me. It's a little sad, but again, have this nice view all to myself. So yeah, that's my morning. Day 13. Day 14 will be a wrap. I'll be at Burnt Mill Bridge, and that'll be that. I got about, I want to say 39 miles from here, something like that. My campsite was pretty nice last night. Other than the hornets, I put my tent up and there was a bunch of hornets around it. One got in it, so couldn't get them out. I eventually had to kill it because it was not going to leave. And well, I guess the pheromones called its buddies, because then I had hornets swarming my tent. So that was fun. Then I moved my tent. I managed to move it without getting stung, but they followed me. I crawled in it, got up super early this morning. My hope was that, well, maybe the pheromones kind of dissipate and they'll go away. They did not. I was up before daylight because I was worried about that, and I was going to eat breakfast there. I didn't actually eat breakfast there. I ate breakfast back here. But about the time I got packed up, they all started swarming my pack. So that answers that. About 9 hours later, 10 hours later, and the hornets were still on the pheromones that were trapped in my tent. Anyway, so it was a nice spot though. It rained for a little bit last night, which wasn't in the forecast, but it wasn't long. Then it let off, but yeah, it's Big South Fork. I highly recommend this area. If you just want to do a section, come do from like the southern terminus, do like 100 miles or so. It's really nice. I don't know if you can see it. It's hard to see, but it's on that side too. The nice big valleys covered in fog. Beautiful, beautiful morning. I've had some good days. It's been a long, wet, hot journey, but I wouldn't trade it. I love it out here. It's really been amazing, to be honest. Makes me a little sad that it's coming to an end, but try to do another update or two. really just gonna enjoy today. Kind of cruising today. It really doesn't matter because I'll be within more or less spitting distance tomorrow. I would like to stay at the campground at Bandy Camp, but I don't think I'm going to. So that's that. That's the last day of hiking today. I'll be wrapping it up tomorrow. Walking across the Cumberland River. I got all the way over here and I hadn't looked at the details too much, and I read a comment that said the bridge was out. Y'all, that's the bridge they're talking about. There's a footbridge out down there that's been completely destroyed. So no big deal, but I was looking at the map. I was like, there is no other way across this. Sometimes these people on Far Out aren't very good at leaving comments, unfortunately, but it's all right. There's a nice big shoulder across this. Got about 15 miles or so all the way to the end. Still gonna end up camping tonight, but it's getting real. I'm almost there. I'm almost to the end of the Sheltowee. See, this is where all the tourists come. They got bathrooms, electricity, maintained trails. Literally just the last 15 miles of this hike. But look, I'm not complaining. Look how nice it is. It's just like a little gravel walkway. Why couldn't the whole thing be like this? No, I needed knee-deep mud sometimes. I couldn't have this the whole time. They really need to work on their priorities. Fund the Sheltowee. Goodwill needs gravel. It's day 14 on the Sheltowee Trace trail. It is the last day. It's a bit sad. Woke up early this morning. It was super foggy. I couldn't find my food bag actually because it was dark and foggy. So that was interesting. Took about 10 minutes to find it. But yeah, cool misty morning. Yesterday was really beautiful, really nice. This last section's been gorgeous so far, maintained well. Went over 2 cool bridges yesterday. That last bridge was an old railroad bridge. I guess it's been covered and repurposed. It goes over the river there. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, yesterday was a good day of hiking. I slept really well last night. I had a really good campsite just above, I think it's called Devil's Den. It's like a series of caves. Very large caves up there. I don't know how far back they go because most of the caves I've seen that you can go really far back into, they do have caged off, which is probably a good idea. People probably get in there and get lost and stuff, honestly, but lots of caves, lots of cool rock structures. I do highly recommend the Sheltowee if you like rock structures, because there's lots of caves everywhere, pretty much along the whole trail. I think it was only like the first 2 days where I didn't see any caves at all, and even then I saw pretty cool rock formations. That's about it. It's bittersweet. It's been 2 great weeks out here despite the heat and the bugs and everything, and people probably think, you know, like, well, you had all these things you were complaining about, your shoes, your feet, the wet, the hot, the bugs, the dogs. And I think people, when I explain these things, I just do it for transparency. I try to be honest about everything, you know, and give people the full picture, because I think all too often you just get the pretty pictures of what people got to see, and they don't give you the whole story of how they had to embrace the suck to get to those places when they do long distance hikes. So people are probably like, well, knowing what you know now, would you get back out here? Hell yeah, absolutely. I love this. I really do. I absolutely love being out here. Even on the well, maybe kind of crap days, it's amazing. So got about 9 miles to go to the road. And that's it for the Sheltowee Trace 2023. Like I said, a little bit sad. Coming to the end. You can see the sun coming up over there. I'm glad I got some nice weather to end it. It's really beautiful. I just can't express enough how beautiful it is out here. How amazing this area is. I highly recommend it. I'm gonna get back to it, finish this up. Y'all go take a hike. Over 5,000 trail miles, and that's the first time I've actually seen open to wagons on a sign. At least that I remember. I don't think I've ever seen that. That's a new one.